Today, you're going to learn a simple 30-second habit before bed that can restore vitality to your day. Using extra virgin olive oil the right way to improve circulation, firmness, and energy in the morning without relying on pills. If your duration has decreased, your confidence has wavered, and fatigue weighs you down, you're not alone. After 60, this is common and often has a clear cause: silent inflammation, stiffer blood vessels, anxiety, and a heavy routine. The good news? There's a practical and achievable path to turn this around, starting today right in your own kitchen. I'm Dr. Mariana Duarte, urologist and specialist in men's health. I'll show you which olive oil to choose, how much to use, what to combine it with, and what to expect in the coming weeks. Stick with me because there's one detail that almost everyone gets wrong: the nighttime thief that steals your results. And understanding it can change everything. When the body's silence speaks at 60, 65, 70 years old, a lot changes. The body becomes more honest, speaking without filters. Sometimes it speaks through an erection that doesn't hold up to what the mind desires, or a night when confidence fails and the head races faster than the heart. Have you noticed that when firmness decreases, it's not just the body that falters? It comes with anxiety, the fear of not measuring up, the feeling of being distant from yourself. I hear this every day in my office. These aren't isolated cases. They're patterns that repeat, and they don't appear out of nowhere. They're signals from the body asking for maintenance. Many men try to fix it with a pill before intimacy. It's understandable. They want a quick solution, and yes, sometimes it works for a few hours. But what does that really mean for your body at 65? It means the core problem remains untouched deep inside. Imagine pipes that have hardened over time. Water flows when you turn the faucet wider, but the plumbing stays rigid. That's what happens to the blood vessels. Add in subtle inflammations, blood sugar fluctuations throughout the day, short and fragmented sleep, and a mind like an action movie playing non-stop. The body tries to keep up, but it demands payment. Ernesto, 67 years old, came in exhausted and told me, "Doctor, I'm afraid of failing, so I start anxious." He ate dinner late and heavy, went to bed with his phone, and woke up tired. The result? Less vigor, more insecurity. When I explained that the issue wasn't a lack of desire, but a buildup of small bricks stacked over days, he breathed a sigh of relief. The idea of regaining self-confidence stopped feeling like an impossible leap. It became a staircase with clear, simple, consistent steps. You might recognize yourself in this, or maybe not, but notice the pattern. When we only treat the symptom, we miss the chance to strengthen the foundation. When we understand that circulation, energy, and serenity go hand in hand, the body responds, and it responds with gratitude. It's like tuning an instrument that's been stored away for years. The first note might not be perfect, but with each day it becomes clearer, firmer, more yours. If these signs are present, it's not the end of the road. It's an invitation to start over intelligently, without rush, without guilt, and with results that don't depend on luck. They depend on choices. That's what we'll keep discussing now, step by step, opening the path to solutions that fit your routine and your plate. Let's move forward because the next point is crucial for turning the game around in your daily life: the small habits that weigh like stones. Almost always, it's not one big mistake that drains vitality. It's pebbles in your pocket. Have you noticed how the night begins at dinner? A full plate, too much salt, hidden sugars, little fiber. Then comes the TV, the phone screen glowing on your face, an accelerated mind, the body trying to digest and rest at the same time. Result: light sleep, heavy awakening, and a day that starts in debt. What does this do to your intimate response? It weakens it. Because energy, circulation, and desire are like three siblings. If one lags, the others wait. I like the image of rivers. Arteries should flow like clean rivers that curve effortlessly. When the water runs well, the banks stay alive. Now think of a river full of trash and branches. The current slows, the water turns murky. The same happens inside when we add late dinners, sweets all the time, little movement, and too much couch. Internal pressure builds, the river can't find its path. The desire that relies on good flow becomes timid. You feel the body more rigid, the mind more impatient, and self-esteem loses height millimeter by millimeter. But you don't need acrobatics to change this scene. Small swaps make a difference. A lighter dinner, more greens and veggies, less heavy carbs at night, less screen time after 9 p.m., half an hour of dim light, slow breathing. Have you seen how the body calms when it gets a clear signal that everything's okay? The heart slows a beat, hands warm up, sleep comes more friendly, and the next day the river flows better. More oxygen, more readiness, and yes, when you need it. Men over 60 tell me, "Doctor, I don't want to become an athlete. I just want to feel alive." That's it. Life is flow, not perfection. Mistakes happen. What matters is getting back on track. What does this really mean at 70? It means every choice has weight, and your body still responds. It always responds. Start with what's possible today. An adjustment to dinner. 10 minutes of walking after eating. Water throughout the day. Less caffeine after afternoon. These are simple bricks. You lay one after another and suddenly the house feels sturdier. If this conversation is doing you good, do one thing now. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. That way, you help me bring this content to more men who need it. And tell me in the comments which of these habits weighs heaviest in your pocket today. The power of extra virgin olive oil at night. Now comes an ally that fits in the palm of your hand. Simple, accessible, and surprisingly effective when used right. Extra virgin olive oil. At night, before bed, it works silently. Have you noticed how some things work better when the house is quiet? Olive oil does that inside you. It helps blood pathways stay more flexible, reduces that nagging inflammation that steals energy without you noticing, and supports the hormone that symbolizes male vigor, because it improves the use of good cholesterol. It's not magic. It's consistent care with a friendly fat. Miguel, 72 years old, was skeptical and told me, "Doctor, 1 spoonful of olive oil is going to make a difference?" 2 weeks later, he returned with a new spark in his eyes. Warmer hands, firmer steps in the morning, less craving for sweets at night. And the intimate response, gradual but much more present. No fireworks. It was like turning on a light. He said the sense of control returned, that his body seemed to cooperate again. Can you feel that? That calm that replaces the fear of failure? Alvaro, on the other hand, noticed it first in his mood. He became less reactive, laughed more easily. When the mind drops its defenses, the body makes space. Anxiety constricts vessels. Serenity loosens knots. What does this really mean after 60? That a small nighttime ritual can pull other habits in the right direction. Better sleep, waking more energized, patience at breakfast, and of course, living intimacy with less pressure and more presence. I'm not saying olive oil is a cure-all. I'm saying that within a set of choices, it's a cheap and effective investment. A spoonful that helps clean the river, a natural lubricant for your internal roads. And when traffic improves, the whole city runs better. If you're thinking of starting, great. In a bit, I'll show you the dose, the best way to take it, and how to choose the right olive oil. And there's one detail almost no one gets right that can double your results. Stick with me because soon I'll reveal it. And I'll also talk about a nighttime thief that sabotages everything. How to use olive oil in a simple and safe way. Let's get practical. At night, 1 hour before bed, start with a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Yes, just that. If you prefer, squeeze in a bit of lemon for freshness. Another option is to drizzle the oil over a light salad or steamed veggies. The goal is not to weigh you down. No heavy pasta plates at the end of the day. Think of a dinner that leaves the body light, breathing easy, and sleep peaceful. Have you felt the difference of going to bed with a rested stomach? The body thanks you immediately. Over time, if you're feeling good, increase to 2 tablespoons. For some, it's better pure, taken slowly, like a small ritual. For others, it pairs with a warm infusion, chamomile, mint, or warm water with ginger slices. Ginger gives a gentle internal warmth, that nudge that eases nighttime stiffness. If you have no sugar restrictions, a drizzle of honey can be pleasant. And here's a powerful secret. Slow breathing for 5 minutes. Inhale through the nose, hold for a moment, exhale very slowly. It's amazing how this sequence syncs with the olive oil. You downshift the mind, and the body switches to repair mode. How to choose a good olive oil? Read the label. Look for extra virgin and cold pressed. Prefer dark glass bottles. Light and heat spoil the product. Store in a cool place, away from the stove. On the palate, it should have a fruity note and a slight pungency in the throat. That pungency signals active compounds at work. And how do you know if it's working? Between 2 and 4 weeks, you might notice subtle signs. Mental clarity upon waking, less cold hands, slower digestion easing up, waist starting to deflate without a radical diet, and in intimate moments, a more present, firmer, more confident response. What does this mean for you at 68, for example? It's not too late, not complicated. It's a small routine that adds up quietly. If you forget one day, pick it up the next. No guilt. The body loves consistency, not punishment. And remember, not haste, but direction. In the next point, I'll show you what happens inside, in simple terms, so you understand why this nighttime spoonful has such an effect. What happens inside the body? Let's open the engine box with simple language. Imagine that over the years, small sparks flare up inside. They're invisible irritations that make everything more sensitive. It's like a carpet that has bunched up over time. Extra virgin olive oil arrives like a damp cloth that smooths the fibers. It helps calm those silent sparks, and when irritation drops, the flow returns freer. Have you noticed how the body works much better when it's not on alert? Internal pressure eases, the heart works lighter, the mind rests. Another important thing? Many functions depend on good blood flow. Erection is one of them. Think of a hose that needs pressure and elasticity. If the rubber is stiff, the water doesn't build force. Olive oil, combined with other habits, helps that rubber regain flexibility. Plus, it syncs with how we use the day's energy. When night has fewer sugar spikes, the early hours become repair time, not firefighting. The body rebuilds, organizes, discards what's unnecessary, and preps you for the next day. There's one more detail few remember. Olive oil is a good fat that carries vitamins that need fat to enter the body. A, D, E, and K. Tough names, I know, but think of it this way. A is for glowing skin and vision. D is for strong bones and steadier mood. E is for internal locks that prevent wear. K helps blood circulate right and keeps vessels in order. When these doors open, the body feels more whole, less chronic pain, less dragging fatigue, more emotional stability. What does this really mean at 70? You might feel lighter mood, greater patience, the will to walk returning, and in intimacy, confidence stops depending on a patch. It comes from within, from a system that stopped fighting and started cooperating. It's not distant theory, it's what I see in follow-ups. Men who report deeper sleep, waking with clear ideas, warm hands, and self-esteem emerging from hiding. When you understand this backstage, using olive oil stops being a loose act. It becomes part of an orchestra, a steady note that helps all the others fall into rhythm. And that leads us to an essential point: safety and rhythm. How to maintain without overdoing it or stumbling. Safety and consistency that deliver results. No new habit needs to become a burden. First, safety. If you have specific conditions, like gallbladder issues, blood thinners, diabetes under adjustment, or any condition needing special care, talk to your doctor before starting. Olive oil doesn't replace treatment. It's an ally, and allies work best when the ship's captain is informed. If all's clear, we proceed calmly and focused. Now, consistency. The body doesn't read calendars. It reads repetition. 1 spoonful today doesn't change a life. 1 spoonful every night for weeks changes the terrain. What does this mean in practice? Solid results love simple routines. Pick a time. Keep the bottle visible but protected from light. Link the olive oil to an existing trigger. Washing dishes, brushing teeth, closing curtains. That connection helps you not forget. If a day slips by, don't judge yourself. Resume the next day, like putting the train back on the tracks. When results appear, on average between 2 and 4 weeks, subtle signs emerge. Mood stabilizes, bowels work more regularly, sleep deepens, waist loses bloat, and intimacy gains steadiness. At 1 or 2 months, the foundation settles. You feel more confidence, less urgency for last-minute fixes. That sense of commanding your own body? It returns not by miracle, but by building. And if anxiety hits, remember this: the process is progressive. Each night is a vote for yourself. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You need to care for what's yours: your flow, your energy, your good mood. And intimate life comes as the natural fruit of that terrain. When you adopt this rhythm, changes stop being promises. They become routine. And routine is where health lives. With that clear, I want to give you an image that helps stay on the path, especially on days when haste tries to sabotage you. The Vitality Piggy Bank. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a piggy bank hidden inside your chest. It's not clay, it's made of time. And every night you care for dinner, breathe calmly, and take your spoonful of extra virgin olive oil, you drop a gold coin inside. Silent coins, no clink. At first, it seems like nothing changes. The bank doesn't overflow, no one applauds, but inside, the interest is compounding. The river starts to clear, the engine loses friction, the mind wakes less foggy. One day you notice, hands aren't cold, steps are looser. Lower back complains less. Breathing goes deeper. Waist has room in the belt. Mood lightens. And in intimate moments, that inner voice saying, "It'll go wrong," quiets. The speaking body is present, firm, cooperating. What does this really mean at 66, 77, 75? That age can bring wisdom and routine, when chosen well, is your best ally. I don't promise fireworks, but consistency that builds. Not the body of 30, but the best body of your 60s and beyond, with morning energy, afternoon peace, and nighttime presence. These are subtle changes, but very consistent. Have you noticed how a clear mind at dawn changes the whole day? That's what I'm talking about. The internal piggy bank works for you when you work for it. 1 coin today, another tomorrow. At month's end, the sum appears. In 2 months, it becomes foundation. In 3, a way of life. If you're listening and thinking, is it worth starting today? I return with a question. What's the price of waking light and sleeping tranquil? Small gestures bring big rewards. And like any good build, it happens from the inside out. In the next point, I'll tell you about a sneaky thief that steals coins from that bank without you noticing. Knowing how to spot and seal that gap amplifies everything you're doing. The nighttime thief. There's a thief that shows up when the lights go out. He doesn't break the door. He slips in through the pajama pocket. It's the buildup of small choices that steal energy when you most need to restore. That endless scrolling on the phone in bed, strong coffee after dinner, an argument you start at 8 p.m., the TV on like a nightlight. It seems like nothing, but it's like leaving the bank open. The body tries to repair, but instead, it has to put out fires. Have you noticed waking tired even after sleeping the right hours? That's the thief at work. How to lock the door? 30 minutes before bed, plug in your phone to charge outside the bedroom. Make the bed a place for rest and intimacy. Dim lights, circulating air, a glass of water nearby, your olive oil spoonful already taken calmly, a 3-minute stretch, slow breaths. You send a clear message. Time to recover. The body gets it, the thief loses ground. What does this really mean at 70? You sleep better, store more energy, and wake with readiness. And that extra stock shows up where it matters, in mood, in walks, in conversations, and yes, in firmness when you desire it. Men tell me, "Doctor, I didn't know screens stole my vigor." But they do, because they rev the brain and heart at once, and circulation pays the bill. Close the thief's window and watch how the gains from olive oil and good habits double. It's like changing the lock and installing a motion light. What enters is only what you allow, and that returns command. If you want to dive deeper, I left a complimentary video explaining this nighttime thief in detail and how to neutralize his tricks one by one. Everything we've discussed so far shows a truth. Sexual health doesn't depend just on desire, but on circulation, energy, and hormonal balance. That's why I brought a natural solution that unites these pillars: PhenoPower. You can find it in the pinned link in the comments. With completely natural ingredients like arginine, guarana, and zinc, you apply a few sublingual drops, and it acts fast. It boosts readiness, firms erections, and brings back confidence in the moment. If you want to feel this transformation, this is the safest shortcut to real results. If you've made it this far, breathe with me. What we talked about today isn't about perfection. It's about regaining command of your body with doable steps. You're not broken. You're tired. Tiredness is treated with direction. I know how heavy insecurity feels when firmness fails, when sleep doesn't repair, when the head races faster than the heart. But I also know how the body responds to simple, repeated, respectful care. It's like opening the windows of a house that's been closed too long. Air enters, light returns, and you recognize your strength. In the intro, I promised a practical path, a 30-second nighttime habit with extra virgin olive oil to favor circulation, energy, and confidence. And we delivered. You understood why pills give relief, but don't treat the root. You saw the daily villains that weigh you down unnoticed. You learned the right dose, the best way to take it, helpful combinations, progress signs between 2 and 4 weeks. You met the image of internal rivers and the hidden piggy bank, because health is a build that adds night after night. And you recognize the nighttime thief that steals results when lights dim and needs disarming for everything else to flourish. If this content made sense, tell me in the comments which small adjustment you'll start today. A lighter dinner? 5 minutes of breathing before bed? The olive oil spoonful with lemon. Your experience could encourage another man staying silent. Like and share with a friend who deserves better mornings, and subscribe so you don't miss the next tips. This channel is a space of care, without judgment, made to embrace your life stage. And don't stop here. There's a detail in the nighttime thief's anatomy that almost no one notices. There are 3 doors he enters through and drains your vitality while you sleep. In the next video, I'll show you how to close each one simply in under 5 minutes at night. Want to discover what they are and multiply the results from what we started today? Yeah,